Hello friendos, it's Bella from the Bookish Badger, and today I'm coming at you guys with my 2021 reading goals. This, along with my reading year in review videos, are really helpful for me to make for just my own accounting of keeping myself accountable and hey, what did I want to do this year? What did I actually accomplish this year? And then either tweaking that for the next year or leaving things behind in the year prior, etc., etc. So kicking things off, my biggest reading goal for the year is always the amount that I set my Goodreads reading goal to, which this year I decided to set it at 55 books. This is the highest I've ever set my Goodreads reading goal. It's not the most I've ever read in a year, but it is the highest I've ever set the goal to. The previous highest I've ever set the goal to was 50, and the reason I decided to set it a little bit higher this year was because I way exceeded my reading goal last year, which if you saw my last video, you would know that my goal last year was to read 45 books, and I ended up reading 57, so I way exceeded my goal from last year, and it went past 55, so I thought 55 would maybe be a safe bet for the year, as well as a bit of a challenge in that it is the highest that I've ever set it, and I figured since I did so well last year, why not give myself a bit of a challenge this year? And I'm filming this a bit later than most people tend to film these sort of videos, but with that, I can say that it is currently mid-February, and this is so far the best start I've had to a reading year. So knock on wood that it stays that way, that I keep up this sort of momentum, but I've got my fingers crossed and I've got my hopes high. The next item on my list is something that has been a continuous challenge for myself, which I talk about quite a lot, sort of cursory on my channel. However, I would like to make a full-length video on it, and that is to continue my reading journey through the PBS Great American Read List. The Great American Read List is essentially 100 books that were voted on by American people to be the most loved 100 books in America. That's sort of redundant, but I think you know what I'm saying. At the beginning of 2020, I went into the year having read up to that point 35 books, and I ended the year having read 43 books. And I'm not trying to put any pressure on myself with this one, but if I could reach 50 books read off of that list by the end of the year, I would be really, really proud of myself, and that is a sort of, not, I would say, a solid goal, because I don't think I'm gonna be mad at myself if I don't complete that many, but I would love to. It's my secret little hope that I'll get up to having read 50 on the list. The next thing that I would absolutely love to do in 2021, which again I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself for, but I would really, really love it if I could create my own readathon. In 2020, I co-hosted a readathon for the first time, which was the Rocky Horror Readathon, and I had such a fun time with it. The people that were hosting it were amazing, and I loved working with all of them. They're all beautiful, amazing, wonderful human beings. And I just had a really fun time with it, helping put together challenges and co-hosting live read-ins and things of that sort. Plus, mid-2020 on, Sophie from Sophie's Book Nook and I were discussing what I think is a really solid readathon idea that we would love to be co-hosts on in 2021, and we thought of a bunch of challenges for it that would be fun and some other things to go along with it. So at this point it's just a matter of really sitting down and narrowing down what we would want the challenges to be and the prompts, and settling on the things to go along with it, and then settling on a date, because you know, that can be hard with a couple of people who have some mighty busy schedules. But I'm putting it out into the universe that it is a possibility, and one that I would love to see happen in 2021. And my final goal, which is definitely more of a channel goal than it is a reading goal, is to learn how to caption videos. I know that captioning can be a huge part of accessibility, and it really widens the amount of people who have the ability to view videos. And I'm a person who has no disabilities that would prevent me from captioning videos. I just haven't sat down and learned yet, and that's not great on my part. I know that there's probably going to be a bit of a learning curve, and I know that captioning videos can be a time-consuming endeavor, and I'm not saying I'm 100% going to have all of my videos captioned by the end of the year, but I really want to at least learn how to and start the process. So there you have it. I am definitely a bit lighter on the goals this year. I'm keeping it easy on myself. I'm not committing to any posting goals because if you've seen any past videos of this series, you would know that I've previously tried to commit to posting schedules and it's not worked. I've just sort of accepted in myself and in my channel that posting's probably not ever going to be what it once was back when I started my channel before I had a job. But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy posting when I do get around to it. So with my smaller amount of goals this year and my less pressure level for said goals, this is probably going to end up being a bit of a shorter video, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I would love to hear from you guys what your bookish goals are this year, whether they're reading goals or channel goals, how many books you would like to read this year, if you have certain books that you really want to get to this year. I don't know any of it, all of it, please leave it in a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Do not hesitate to subscribe for more content coming soon, and I will see you in the next video. Bookish Badger, signing off.